Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome back to our live broadcast with Ray Du. So you can leave your questions, continue to leave your questions. Ray will be looking at your questions live. We will be answering them. And we will move on now to talk about some recommendations, some specific resources that we recommend that you use to learn English beyond courses. Yes, so Ray, you watch a lot of YouTube?
Yep. I think YouTube is this free, accessible platform that you can get so much from. But a lot of people, when they think of learning English, they only think of my channel because I'm up there, 1 million subscribers. But it goes beyond that. The world is so vast within the YouTube platform. So today I have garnered some YouTube channels that I think would be helpful for people who want to learn English through YouTube videos. So of course the first one would be my own channel, and I would definitely recommend one of my series called the English Corner. The name actually came from a time when I was back in Fuda, because we in our year we have this English Corner at Xiaoba, and it's a time where we would talk with students with other departments. We'll talk in English to practice speaking.
Yes.
So for my channel, every month there will be a video that's completely in English, and I will have some guests here to, for example, last time we had Pierre come. Pierre and his girlfriend Megan, we baked a turkey together for Thanksgiving, and that was completely in English with Chinese and English subtitles. So for my channel, I like recommend you guys to watch that, because you guys are already in the English department. You can practice English listening through the video. So
and some students aren't. Yeah, some of the students.
Some others. So going with that flow, there are some other Taiwanese, YouTube channels in Taiwan that make videos in English but caption them in both Chinese and English. So there are 3 of them that I recommend. The first one would be my old partner called JR Lee Radio. Actually, you know what? I'll type the channel names in the comment section. JR Lee Radio. So he makes most of his videos in English. He's a native speaker, so and he puts on English and Chinese subtitles. So with every piece of content that he makes, you can practice English listening. And his theme is usually centered around positivity and doing good for the world.
I see. So psychology and activism. This sort of thing.
Activism, mental wellness. Okay, so that's RD. JR, not RD, that's me. JR Lee Radio.
JR Lee Radio.
Okay. Second one, that's English speaking, and he has Chinese captions, would be Logan Beck. Logan D. Beck.
Logan D. Beck.
Okay.
Logan D. Beck.
So this is for those foodies out there, because he's an American that came to Taiwan, and he loves Taiwan food. In particular, he loves mi jiang. So he calls his fans the Mi Jiang family, and every single video he's captioned in Chinese and English, and it showcases him going to different places in Taiwan and trying out different food and giving his comments about the food. So if you like food,
that's great.
Right, if you like food, I think you would love the channel.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah,
Logan D. Beck, I'm coming.
Right, Logan D. Beck. And so that's the second one. The third one would be Stop Kidding Studio.
Stop Kidding.
Stop Kidding Studio, it's more like an apartment where it houses guests from different countries. So they have people that come visiting Taiwan from Germany, from England, from America, or from Asian countries. So they gather in the studio and they talk about cultural differences or cultural shocks in Taiwan. So they're
Taiwan-based. They're all
Taiwan-based. They're all Taiwan-based. So it's very accessible for us. And they are actually they started the channel earlier than I did, and I think they have 700 or 800,000 subscribers. Wow. So you can definitely go check them out. And is Logan the person that goes to Pomo? No, I think that was Joshua. That was not Logan. So these are the three who makes English content with bilingual captions.
I see.
So if you want to practice your English listening, you can go to those three channels.
Yeah.
And then next two would be Chinese-speaking channels that teaches English.
Yes.
Okay. The first one being 英语一开罐.
英语一开罐.
Okay, I'll type them down. 英语一开罐. So it's really interesting because he used to be my intern, at my channel, and he learned all the stuff from me, and then he went off and created his own channel, and I'm also helping him in his channel, and I'm also making collaborative videos with him. So he's also a channel that focuses on English.
I think that's great. You're a mentor now.
Yeah, I'm a mentor, right? I mentor. Actually,
becoming YouTubers.
Right. Besides directly teaching English, like channels that directly teach English, I also mentor YouTube channels that for all different purposes. Because I think becoming a YouTuber, regardless the topic, there's a certain standard procedure, and as someone who's experienced all that, I can relate to the struggles of beginning a YouTube channel. So I help out a lot of new YouTubers on the platform.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. The second one would be C's English Corner.
C's.
Right, C's and then English Corner. She is also a relatively new YouTuber. She makes video. The content is more centered around cultural experiences in different countries, and also things that you would have when you travel, things that you like, troubles or problems that you will come face to face with when you're traveling.
So actually, that's very good. So survival tips, right?
Survival
skills.
Survival tips. So three channels in English but bilingual subcaptions, and 2 channels in Chinese but talking about teaching English. So these combined, there's 5 channels that I recommend you guys to check out. So that's purely on YouTube. And besides YouTube, there's this other platform that I just talked about. It's called VoiceTube. It's where I used to work.
Yes.
And it has a lot of YouTube videos that's natively in English, and they caption it in both Chinese and English. And there's a lot of different functions, like repeating single sentences or checking the dictionary, giving you a definition of single words, that can help you out, that kind of scaffolds your English learning experience. So that's also a really great website that's free to check out.
Good word, yeah. Just scaffold, yeah. So you can get some assistance in the process.
Okay, so I think that's about it.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. So, do we have any questions from the students? Any questions from the audience? Okay.
Also, Will Walker. Okay, yeah, Will Walker too. Will Walker, I've made a couple videos with him. He's currently studying to become a dentist in England, and he's also a YouTuber that makes video in English, but then caption them in Chinese and English. So
that takes a lot of work. Actually.
That takes a lot of work. Okay. A lot of people are thanking me for all those channels.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so where I'm a fan of you. The content usually useful. I want to learn more English on YouTube. I think that's a typo. I hope maybe someday I can become a great YouTuber as you. Okay, Elva. That's from Elva.
Elva, yes.
That's not technically a question, but good on you.
Yes, good on you.
Thank you for sharing. Do you know how to learn English more interesting without the internet? Because I'm teaching a junior high school student, which seldom uses the internet. Okay.
Without the internet.
Without the internet, here's the thing. You can download the videos from the internet to use them offline. So, if you want the aid of the internet resources, right?
Yeah.
What you do, you need to do a little bit more of the homework, right?
Yes.
Beforehand. It's kind of like preparing for your class.
Yes.
Like building an outline, preparing all the resources that you're going to use. So before the class, look at all the videos that you want to use within the classroom. Download them illegally from YouTube. Just kidding. You can download them. Okay, download them and use them in the classroom. I think that's a way.
Yes.
The interesting thing is, before, like in our age when we were students, when we talk about SLA, when we talk about teaching English,
Yes.
we talk about the different procedures. Like there's this engagement. So first to get them to notice you,
Yes.
and then you go to the content,
Yes.
and you have all those teaching aids, and finally you have assessment.
Yes.
So now it's basically the same steps, but with more elements.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays you're just using, instead of using flashcards or puppets, you're downloading videos or just using them online as teaching aids to get students interested in your in the stuff that you're presenting. So I think that's, as a teacher, that's what you have to do. You have to do a lot of homework beforehand so that you can achieve the best learning results when you're in class.
Do you feel that videos are always preferable to static materials? Is there any time, like for instance last week I talked about comics,
Right.
comic books,
Right.
And some teachers like to use children's books, picture books. Crown has talked about picture books as well. Do you think those are good materials as well, and something we could recommend to students? Or do you think that multimedia video is really the best way? I think that's a trick question.
That is a tricky question, because I have two opinions about this, and they're twofold. Because regardless the means, regardless the teaching material, as long as the student is motivated, he or she can learn no matter, like through whichever way, right? So even if you only have a textbook, or compared to when you have an animation. So for example, if you want to learn about how the heart works, how the blood pumps in and flows out, if you are a student that's motivated to learn the subject, that's keen on learning, regardless if he or she uses a textbook or an animation, the learning result would hold no significant difference. But having said that, if you're facing a crowd of students who are not as motivated, it's usually better to go for a more visually stimulating resource so that they are at least enticed by it. So so scientifically, pictures are always better than like just words, and moving pictures are always better than just pictures. So we're just going up the scale now. So if you're facing like a crowd of unmotivated students, I think it would be a means to, it'll be a necessary mean to like the end that you're trying to achieve. If you want to get them to be motivated and to learn, then using multimedia educational resources would be your best bet. So yeah, I think that's my opinion on this.
Any more questions? Yes. Any more questions from the students? Erica.
Sharon asks.
Sharon.
If you are not a YouTuber today, what would you do now?
I would be homeless. I would be. Just kidding. If I'm not a YouTuber,
maybe you would follow.
I think I would become a teacher.
Yeah, we would be similar. Similar profession.
I think we would be colleagues.
Yeah, we would be colleagues.
Fuda, I would teach her. Maybe.
So look at where I am now.
You should have became a YouTuber. I think for me, like the fundamental question for me, why I launched this YouTube career is centered around my desire to teach and to share, because I've been learning English for as long as I can remember. I loved sharing English with my peers. That started from my high school years. So I'm just using like the best possible way that I can think of to reach like a wider audience. For I think a year, during I think my sophomore or junior year, my dream was to become a radio broadcaster, like a radio anchor, which I achieved when I was studying, when I was going for my master's degree, because I thought that it's a good way to reach an audience. So instead of just staying in a classroom and talking to a finite amount of students, I can go live and reach however many people that's listening to the broadcast. And now I think I am in a way accomplishing that dream on a bigger scale. I'm using video instead of just audio. I'm using audio-visual methods, using video, using a channel, using YouTube to reach my audience. So in a way, I'm also doing what I set out to do. I'm just sharing, but on a specific platform with a wider audience.
I see. So did you anticipate becoming an educator very early on?
I think so, yeah.
How did this start? I think there's always a moment or someone that influences us to
Yeah.
become educators.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. So
There's this story that I share really often that happened back to me back in Singapore when I was still going for primary school.
yes,
It was my first
video game.
really great English teacher. She taught me how to buy
The game, the cards.
Yu-Gi-Oh
cards, yeah.
cards, right?
Uh-huh.
She was kind of the one who inspired me to learn English. So I set out to become that role, the person that inspires people
Yes.
to learn, and also that kind of deepened when I was in high school. Because in high school, I'm the one that is known for his English abilities. So people, whenever there's a test, they will come to me, and I will enjoy that
The
feeling.
process.
Right, the process
Right,
of
right.
sharing, the process of me knowing what to do and giving it to them and seeing them achieve. That kind of, I think it's planted a seed within me early on, so that I have this passion for sharing and learning. When I was in high school, so
Yes.
that's why I went on to be an English major, English master's degree, and then I came out to become an educator, and now I'm the first educator on YouTube to have 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
So I think young influences are really vital in one's span of life.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I also have good memories of this. More questions?
Do you think Crown is more famous than me? Someone asked if I think my sister is more popular than me. I think it's hard to say, but judging by our subscriber rank and individual video performances, I would have to say girls, they have